Good morning, everyone.
Let's look at you.
Thank you for being here in time. Let's start our school. So we have to start a small ceremony for the opening. This is the 18th Advanced School of Astrophysics from the Astronomy Department of this Institute of Astronomy, Geophysics and Atmospheric Science. So it's a tradition of our institution. It started in 1981. At the time, it was one of the few international events our students could participate. Time has changed. Students go to a lot of meetings overseas, but we're still keeping this event. It used to be from 2 to 2 years, now 3 to 3. And but we are very proud to continue this tradition. So I would like to invite Dr. Pedro Dias, the director of our institute. Dr. Hernan Shaimovic from the Chemistry Institute and FAPESP. And Dr. John Steiner from our very own Astronomy Department of IAG. I will give Pedro the floor for welcome.
Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics, and I'd like to acknowledge the participation of the Institute of Energy and the Environment, where we are right now. It's a pleasure to open this event. Particularly today, I was just a few minutes ago the inauguration lecture for our undergraduate students, and I mentioned to the students how rich is this environment that we have here at the Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics. The fact that we're in top position the undergraduate program in geophysics, atmospheric science and astronomy, as well as the graduate program. And part of the reason is the fact that from a research point of view, the Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics stands out as a major actor, not only here in Brazil, but also in the international context. So it's really a pleasure to have this kind of event here at IAG. And as mentioned by Eduardo, the fact that this is not something new. It started back in 1981 and it's still going on. And I see on the program, based on the program, that we have several well-known lecturers participating in this event, a large number of students, and a lot of activity during the week. So, welcome again, and as I usually say, have lots of fun during this week. Thank you.
Good morning. I would like to say a little bit about the GMT partnership. We will have a full week talking about GMT, so I'm not going to enter any details about this project. But perhaps say a little bit about history of Brazilian astronomy, research astronomy in Brazil. Usually, the landmark is taken as the foundation of the Observatório Nacional in Brazil, which happened in 1827. But although this has happened a long time ago, the first paper effectively written in Brazilian astronomy was published in 1966. Until then, not seen. And that was a very important moment, and the scientific production grew significantly at a rate of about 10 to 11% per year over 30 years. And there are two key instruments that played an important role for this development. And the two instruments are the radio telescope Tapetinga, radio dish here in São Paulo, millimetric telescope, and the observatory de Pico dos Dias, optical telescope of a 62-inch telescope. These two instruments were really the key instruments for developing the community very strongly in the decades of 1970 to 1980. But by the end of 1980, there was already a very significant slowdown in Brazilian science in terms of astronomy. Only by then we were able, the community was able to join two consortia, two major consortia at the time, which were the Germany and the SOAR consortia. We joined Germany in 1992 and SOAR in 1996. And then we started attracting young people, more and better students. And now we already have a significant community of young students that have obtained their degrees with the facilities that I just mentioned. But we have to look ahead. We have to look 20 years from now, 10 years from now. What's going to happen? What is the stage going to be? And in these terms of strategic thinking, a community of the state of São Paulo, a set of our community, submitted a proposal to FAPESP, proposing to join the GMT. FAPESP evaluated it very carefully, a long period, with international referees, as it usually does, and at the end decided to support this application, and has entered the consortium as a founding partner. FAPESP is a founding partner of the GMT, contributing with $40 million over 8 years. This makes FAPESP a very significant partner in this partnership. As you will see, you will see the other partners. This is an international consortium. So we are quite confident that the astronomical community of the state of São Paulo, and I should mention that FAPESP is a state foundation, and therefore it can support the science in the state of São Paulo, will have a very bright future in terms of scientific development in the area of astronomy. We hope that the community, the national community, joins the São Paulo community, and that the Ministry of Science and Technology joins FAPESP in funding the organization. This is our desire, but this does not depend on our desire. It depends on the desire of the community and money from the Ministry of Science and Technology, which is these days very difficult, as you all know. But we hope that this development may happen in the future. Thank you.
Professor Emil Shegovich from FAPESP.
Well, good morning, everybody, boys, girls, and older people like me. It's a pleasure to be here. And let me start by saying that when I received this, the folder, I immediately started looking for FAPESP, okay? And it's very, very small, come on. But it's okay. If you want to know about Papespi, one of the ways to do it is to go to the GMT webpage and look for the founders. And there, instead of, and I was sort of surprised because instead of speaking about science, as many of the partners speak, it made Papespi propaganda, okay? And it's okay, but I think you people should go to the GMT webpage and say it's not only the foundation, it's the people that do the science, the good science that should be in that webpage. It's okay. Papespi is a state foundation. It's a state foundation founded in a way in 1947, before National Research Council or CAPS or any of the other federal agencies. But it started really operating in 1962, and we at the time had a very privileged and brilliant governor of the state of São Paulo who drafted a law founding the foundation that it's so good and with such an interesting strategic vision that it's all applicable, everything, every word to this day. So it can't be changed. At the same time, the governor decided to start an endowment for the foundation, equivalent to a couple of years. Remember, there was a hiatus between 47 and 62 that the state sort of owed to Papespi. So we started with an endowment, a 0.5% of the taxes of the state of São Paulo, and that started what is now a 1% of the taxes foundation receiving almost religiously 1/12 of the 1% each month. This is a very, very special foundation. If you look at the world, there are very few foundations, if any, that don't have to discuss with the legislature or the executive branch the budget each year. And that is why one of the things that we do is start planning ahead, because we can count on funds. It's very interesting planning ahead when you don't have funds, because you can fly out of reality, okay? If you have funds, you can plan ahead within your budget. And in a sense, this is the Papespi commitment to astronomy. Long-term planning, hoping excellent science, because the mission of the foundation is to have impact in the São Paulo society through science, technology, and innovation. And when I say impact, I mean intellectual impact, that is, ideas that generate new ideas all over the world. Social impact, which is almost obvious, but I won't have time to explain what I mean. And economic impact, which is very obvious, that is, ideas that generate jobs, that generate new industries, that generate things for the benefit of who pays Papespi, that is the São Paulo inhabitant. Now, within this framework, GMT is a major enterprise, because we expect that in 2024, okay, when the first light lights up all the mirrors, the Brazilian, especially the São Paulo community, will start generating ideas as revolutionary as the observation of the last burst that generated gravitational waves a couple of months ago. That is, in a sense, we will have results of impact of ideas that generate new ideas. In one phrase, I think that we are extremely confident that the investment of PAPESP will be extremely well accompanied by ideas and new findings that will generate impact, intellectual impact in the world. At the same time, instrumental generation is a fundamental part of our undertaking. We want the science that comes with instrument design, the engineering that comes from instrument manufacture, and in that sense, ideas that generate new ideas, ideas that help to generate new engineering, is what PAPESP hopes, and I think we're quite sure, because of a long-term commitment to astronomy, that that will happen. Last but not least, I think that what João Steiner just mentioned is of fundamental importance for Brazil. It is essential that this system of astronomy is Brazil-wide. Even though PAPESP cannot invest outside the geography of São Paulo state, we are absolutely sure that this type of development has to favor astronomy in Brazil. And for that, and without thinking of crises that will pass, I think that the people that are managing this program should keep on trying to get all states on board, and the federal government eventually will come. So I'm pleased to be here. Thank you very, very much for inviting PAPESP. Well, if you didn't invite PAPESP, we will cut the money. So thank you very much for inviting us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you all very much. I think the FAPESP name on the main banner is a little bigger, so I hope it saves my face. So thank you, and thank everyone, and I think we're ready to start the talks. Let's applaud them all again.